Hello everyone and welcome back to the FRC Historian. Today I'll be making my next video in the most underrated teams in FRC trilogy. Now, before I get into this, I'd just like to say that when I come up with these teams and what I mean absolutely no disrespect to any teams who are on this list, nor do I mean for any teams who don't make it. The main reason why I've been able to get these are quite a while ago I made out a forum called FRC Most Underrated, shared out in one of my videos, and then I got a whole bunch of responses that I made videos about. I'll be sharing this link yet again for anyone who missed it. For instance, if you'd like to insert a team in here that you feel deserves some more credit or you'd like me to cover, please put it in there. I'd be more than happy to cover it, either in the comment section below or in the form that I'll be putting down. If everyone were able to do it, I'd be able to cover a lot more, but if you don't, I understand. So, before we get into this, I'm covering Team 1369 Minotaur out of Tampa, Florida. If you do not know Minotaur, they are at Tampa, Florida, and they are a team who started out in 2004. Now, they had the pleasure of starting out at the 2004 Peachtree Regional, where here they went 9-5 overall, and actually became part of the number 4 Alliance, and became regional champions in their first ever competition. They teamed up with teams 1002 and 1057 as part of the number 4 Alliance, won both quarterfinals, upset the number 2 Alliance in the semis, and then upset in the finals to win and become regional champions, and they are also winners of the Xerox Creativity Award. Now, it's always awesome to win a regional. Yet this team was able to win it as a rookie team, and although they weren't the captain of this alliance, which they didn't need to be, they were able to win their first ever competition and also won Xerox Creativity Award. Then they qualified for the World Championship, where they went 3-4 in the Archimedes division. Overall, a great first year, where they were able to win their first ever competition, which not every team can say. Now let's move on to the second year, where they went on to the Florida Regional. Now this year they went to the Florida Regional. They went 3-6 at this regional. Then they were able to qualify and go to this championship, where here they went 2-5 in the Galileo division in Georgia. Now this was the second year, and you have to remember that 2004 was the last year of 2-member alliances, 2005 was the first year of 3, so it was quite a big year for coming up with new strategies for incorporating a third robot on the field, as opposed to 2001 was the first year where you had more than 2 of an alliance in the same field. However, this was the first time you had 3v3 and had to come up with some new ideas. Now we're going to move on to their 2006, their third year, where here they went to the Peachtree Regional, where they went 7-5-1, and were part of the number 5 Alliance, along with teams 116 and 1139. They lost their first quarterfinal, won the second, however losing the third, not by a large margin, to become quarterfinalists at the Peachtree Regional. Let's move on to their fourth year in 2007. Team Minotaur started off at the Peachtree Regional, where here, much like their first season, at the Peachtree Regional they became regional champions. Team 1369 won this regional long times 1848, 1539, and 1127, becoming regional champions. Now let's move on to their next regional, where they would go on to the Palmetto Regional, where here they would rank 7th, going 7-3 in the qualification rounds, moving on to the number 4 Alliance, where along with teams 900 and 343, they won both quarterfinals against Team 34, who had bested them previous years. Then they went to the semifinals, where here they were beat by the Alliance of 1758, 1251, and 1626 to become Palmetto Regional semifinalists. However, they didn't win the Judges Award. Then they went on to the Newton Division, where here they would go 4-5 overall, 4-3 in the qualification rounds, where they would team up with teams 1311 and 181 to become part of the number 6 Alliance, where they would go up against 1816, 1592, and 1124. The other alliance would best them in the quarterfinals to become division quarterfinalists. Let's move on to the next season, 2008. 2008, Team Minotaur first started off at the Palmetto Regional, where here they would rank 33rd, going 3-7. Then they would go on to their first ever offseason called Monty Madness. Next up on to 2009. Let's look at Team Minotaur in 2009. They went to the Palmetto Regional, where here they went 6-3 in the qualification rounds, ranking 6th, and being part of the number 5th Alliance, along with teams 1293 and 801. However, they would unfortunately lose to the Alliance of 1051, 1261, and 1746 in the quarterfinals. Moving on to 2010, the breakaway. This team would go on to the Florida Regional, where they would go 3-7. Scores being much lower than other years because it was indeed breakaway. They'd go 3-7, ranking 45th at this regional, where, if you did not know, the Robonauts actually went to. Let's go on to 2012. They actually did not have a 2011 season. They would resume in 2012, where here at the South Florida Regional, they would go 1-10, ranking 42nd in the South Florida Regional. Getting back in 2013, 1369 would go 4-6 at the South Florida Regional, ranking 31st. On to 2014, Team Minotaur would go on to the Orlando Regional, where here they would rank 48th, going 3-7. Then they would go on to the South Florida Regional, where here they would go 6-6, ranking 28th. Then they would go on to an off-season called Panther Prowl, where here they would go 5-4-1 overall, being part of the number 1 alliance, winning both quarterfinals, winning a semifinal, however losing the next 2 semifinals, become Panther Prowl 2014 semifinalists. Let's move on to 2015, where here the Robot Toros would go on to the Georgia Southern Classic first, where here they were ranked 30th with an average qualification match score of 29.91. However, they would be picked up at the Island Alliance. And in this alliance, Team 1369 would actually become finalists. 1369 was picked up by the number 8th Alliance. They were the first pick of the number 8 Alliance alongside teams 3959 and 832, where here they would actually get up a very high match score, making it all the way up to the second-ranked alliance in the quarterfinals, and then yet again the second-ranked alliance in the semifinals, first with an average of 77.5, then with an average of 71, where in the finals they would drop down and lose to the first alliance of 1319, 1648, and 3266. Now here it had been quite a while since they'd made it this far, and they became regional finalists at this regional, and they also had a student be recognized with the first Dean's List Finalist Award. Then they went on to the Orlando Regional, where here they ranked 23rd with an average qualification match score of 68. Then they would go on to the Carver Division at the World Championship, where they would be ranked 69th with an average qualification match score of 89.8. Let's go on to their 2016 season. Back to more standard rankings. This team would first start off at the Palmetto Regional, where here in Myrtle Beach they would rank 28th, going 11-4 in the beginning, where they would team up with teams 179 and 4451 as ranked 28th. They would win both quarterfinals, win both semifinals, lose a final, but win the next 2 to become regional champions, and then also have a student recognized by the Dean's List Finalist Award. Then they would move on to the Orlando Regional, where here they would team up with teams 79 and 1876, and it's part of the number 4 alliance. Winning the first match, losing the second, yet winning the third to go on to the semis, where they would lose the first, win the second, however lose the third by 4 points to become regional semifinalists and Creativity Award winners. They would then go on to the Carson Division, where here they would rank 75th, going 1-8-1. They, in this case, would actually go to 2 off seasons this year. Let's move on to 2017. Now in 2017, Minotaur went to the Palmetto Regional first, where here they would rank 16th, and being part of the number 7th Alliance, along with teams 1758 and 4020, where against teams 1319, 3824, and 359, they would become regional quarterfinalists. They would have a student be recognized with the first Dean's List Finalist Award, and then also they would be recognized with the Quality Award. Then they would move on to the Rocket City Regional, where here they would be ranked 42nd, going 4-9 overall, where they would team up with teams 2010 and 343 as part of the number 7th Alliance, and unfortunately lose to the alliance of 39, 59, 180, and 179, a very powerful alliance, to become regional quarterfinalists, however winning the second match, bringing it to a tiebreaker. Let's move on to their World Championship at the Newton Division, where here they ranked 53rd, going 4-6 at the World Championship. Let's move on to the 2018 season, a little bit closer to now, where here the robot named What would start off at the Palmetto Regional, where here they would rank 55th, going 3-6, and have a student be recognized with the Dean's List Finalist Award. Then they would move on to the Palmetto Regional, where here they would rank 17th, going 6-7 overall, team up with teams 34 and 70-26. However, they would lose. They were part of the number 8th Alliance, the number 1 Alliance, 3792, 2556, and 3844. Then they would go into the South Florida Regional, where in 2018, as part of, someone recommended this as one of the strongest alliances of all time in one of my Google forums, where here, as ranked 28th, they would go 12-5, teaming up with teams 180 and 179, where they would win their first quarterfinal, lose the second, win the third, win both semifinals, and win both finals to become South Florida Regional champions. Then they would move on to the Carver Division, where here they would rank 49th, going 5-5 in the qualification rounds, where here they would be part of an alliance and actually become regional championship division finalists as part of the number 6th Alliance, being called in for one match. Let's talk about the 2019 season now. Now in 2019, Minotaur started off at the Palmetto Regional, where they would have a first Dean's List finalist award recognition for one of their students, and they were ranked 14th, being part of the number 5 alliance, along with teams 54-72 and 71-52, becoming regional quarterfinalists. Then they would go into the Bayou Regional in Louisiana, where they ranked 33rd, going 4-7, along with teams 36-16 and 64-19. They would become regional quarterfinalists here. Then they would move on to the South Florida Regional, where here they would rank 10th, going 9-4-1, where they would be part of the number 3 alliance, along with teams 39-32 and 45-92. Win the first match, lose the second, win the third to go into the semifinals, and then would lose to the semifinalist alliances 59-23, 83, and 40-65, becoming regional semifinalists, as well as having a Woody Flowers Finalist Award recognition as well. The most recent competition they went to was in the Roebling Division in Houston, Texas, 2019, where they actually teamed up with an alliance I talked about yesterday, 15-33 and 51-90, where here, sadly, they would get out in the quarterfinals against 231, 17-71, and 25-57. Since this, they also went on to 2 off seasons this year. Thank you all for listening. This has been the FRC Historian. Now, before you go, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. One thing a lot of people talk about in FRC is who is the best FRC team ever. And a lot of times it comes down to, some people think, well, it's the team who's won the most regionals, it's the team who's won the most world championships, it's a mixture of the two. Or sometimes you can even go down to which teams have done the most chairman stuff, which teams have done this, and this. So I'd like to hear in another forum I'm going to be putting down, or in the comments below, what you consider the best team in FRC, and what you consider rankings for the best teams in FRC. For instance, 254 has won the most competitions of all time, and they're tied with 71 for the most world championships of all time. So once again, thank you all for listening. This has been the FRC Historian. If you ever have any ideas, please let me know down in the comments below.